Slaughter.
Is there that much synergy though?
It's just the control, so Slaughter can just crush and like without having to always just go into sprint. It's the control factor, so he can reach the target before they hit the tier 1 tower on the top.
But the problem is they don't have any damage. Like Slaughter went 2-2-0 last game, so no bash. And Rubik doesn't have that much damage. I mean, he has some right clicks, but there's no AA or anything to augment his damage. Maybe with a Slaughter amp later, but that's gonna come out pretty late.
I go with Storm Spirit. So it is a support NS. And Pinecat will take the Storm towards the mid lane to go up against the Templar Assassin.
Yeah, I wonder if Storm's going to get owned by the Disruption plus Blood, right? Because that's really their best way to control him. Gyro, Coddle offer no ways to lock him down. So they really need the Blood right to hit on him.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get ourselves into the game in a moment. For ASC, like it's one of these lineups again where I look at it, I'm like, if they can survive the early lane phase, they're gonna start to like push down through buildings, take team fight after team fight. With the Templar Assassin advantage too, taking Roshan is not as quick as what we saw Alliance do in the last game, but it's still very, very quick.
But Alliance, they have the NP advantage. One of Bulldog's best heroes, and
that they do.
I don't know about that Phoenix versus Lesh matchup. That's one that you don't see very often. Lesh solo off lane versus Phoenix, but it seemed like Bulldog didn't win the lane as he with a different hero.
No. I also look at Phoenix. I'm just wondering, like, is he really that like during the team fight? The sense
he won them so many team fights early.
Yeah,
like they were actually like only 1 or 2 kills behind in like 20-30 minutes into the game because of him.
It just meant that your pickoff though was heavily reliant on Mad getting the initiation, like getting in there. And you don't have that from your offlaner, and that's one thing where I still like. I love it when you have a team fight versus a team fight. Then Phoenix 100%, but when you're looking for these pickoff style lineups, it's not as easy to do. Which in like with Templar Assassin, Gyro, like Bloodseeker, all of these guys work really nicely with the Shadow Demon.
Is Bloodseeker a Night Stalker counter? I don't actually think so. He's so tanky. But
sure, he just runs off like
Rupture, easy. That's the counter, man. He can't run away.
Yeah. But if he gets a good enough start, like if it was a core, then I'd be like, the Night Stalker, he'll probably be fine to be able to run halfway across the map before he'd be in trouble.
They actually almost have no ways to stop TVs though, which is a pretty big deal. Because if you're using Disruption to lead in a Blood Right, then what do you have to stop TPs? You have just a rocket.
You're not counting on a rocket. Yeah. Not unless you're force-stopping that thing forward. Yeah, you're right. Actually, Alliance, like, there's no hunt hero on the Prophet. If Prophet plays his cards right, there's almost maybe one of those games for the Blink Maelstrom build to come out for Admiral Bulldog, and just play the split push game. Like, always keep them looking behind themselves, and that'll buy space for Slaughter as well.
Yeah,
to find pickoffs.
So their lineup's not. He's there to join the fights. Like Night Stalker scouts out opportunities for Storm, and
then he joins.
Yeah, this is. I mean, that's what they're really weak against. Shadow Demon, Keeper Light, like just wrap around.
So you prefer to see something more like the mech being built on the Nature's Prophet. So when he TPs in, you got that.
It's not necessarily the item build. It's more the play style. Just look for opportunities. I think kills take higher priority than pushing in this particular one. Their lineup isn't good at pushing. Like Slaughter and Storm, like yeah, they can hit towers, but in terms of compared to like a Leshrac last game or like a Mech SF, you can't push out waves nearly as quickly.
Interesting position from Trixie coming in behind Admiral Bulldog, so he's going to try and combine here with Matumberman. Admiral Bulldog, that Rocket Barrage doing little to no damage. He's got the boots and is able to run away faster.
And he has a Treants there.
Yep.
He had decent positioning, and I don't really know how much his support Trixie's going to be able to do.
Yeah, the Rocket Barrage, like almost all these shots are just flying into the trees. There's also a potential, like, okay, Mad's been pushing around here for a while with the Night Stalker just looking at Templar Assassin.
But I mean, that's pretty much it for Gyrocopter in this lane. He was down to like 200 HP, and he doesn't have boots. So
it's like you almost play him as the Zeus. Like I come up, I lit off 3 Arc Lightnings, and then I just leave the lane. Yeah, I did my job.
But still, it's going to be difficult for him to have a lot of lane control versus the poor man shield Bloodseeker. Already off to 8 CS. Not sure how many of those were Treants, but still fantastic. And Bulldog can only do so much in this lane, similar to last game.
Yeah. As long as you could just rotate a hero up there. There's an observer wall that's blocking the pull camp. So there's no way for Alliance to try and throttle the lane, but opening. The Illuminate too early there, but they do get the Rocket Barrage off. Talkies just throw it back, throwing Trixie away from Mad. And again, Alliance trying this Slaughter off lane with a melee support like the NS. I know it originally started as a dual lane though.
I think in this game though, he can actually do stuff without the Blink Dagger, which is which is really, really important.
Right, because 4ASC just run at him directly.
No, because they have good ways to initiate without his blink stun. Before it was all blink stun, and SD is not strong enough to go in, and they had a fitter to counter initiate. This time they have like a MP who can wrap around with Sprout. They have the Night Stalker who can slow down with Void and tank for him. They have the Storm who can jump, so he can, you know, just walk around the fight unhindered because there's so many other factors for 4ASC to consider.
I'm actually wondering too if Nature's Prophet can even, like, does he even help by coming into that bottom lane? With a buff for Sprout, it's even better, but he can't level up Sprout. He put the extra, the third point up into Treants.
Well, they have long cooldowns on their spells. Illuminate and Disruption are really long, so if they want to use that to go in on Slaughter, they can almost always get a return kill, since they'll have to get right on top of them for the Rocket Barrage immediately afterwards. So I think that, yeah, it's definitely worth it. Maybe not offensively, but I think to counter gank, yes.
Man, that Keeper of the Light just keeps blasting his Illumina into the wave every time. I know Hani was talking to us about this in the break as well, where like the Illumina just keeps pushing the creep wave out, so there's no ability to dive onto the towers. But we really worry about that kind of dive when you've got like a Rubik and a Slaughter this time around. Like, you don't have that burst
they're smoking
combo here.
Slaughter into the mid lane. Do they have reveal on Ake?
No.
Okay, so how...
Ake's got nothing really.
How are they going to kill TA? I guess they're not going for her.
Well, Pika doesn't have it either. Either that or they're assuming that she didn't get meld.
Okay, well, they're tired of Keeper Light constantly spamming out their lane.
They can come in from behind, but Mad running to the trees. It's going to reveal the fact he's got support over here, but he had no other choice. And now in comes Slaughter with a crossover on Boogie. Admiral Ball is going to come and join the fight, and Boogie will be the first man down. Trick's not in a great position, out of mana, out of Rocket Barrage, and blocked with the body so much with the Treants. And that'll be 2 kills going to Alliance. The successful offlane, and Mad living with a beastic of life on that offlane.
I mean, Nice Talk, he has no stats, and look at his HP, 682 HP with 6 armor. He's one of the beefiest heroes in the game, and they almost got a kill on him, but he had a great presence of mind to run to where the his other 2 lane mates were, and of course Bulldog coming in to clean up after that gank.
I'm surprised they didn't flag for AFC though. Like you're missing the heroes in the lane. You had to know something else was coming to you, but you're so close to the first blood, maybe it was just too good.
Well, TA was also right under her tower, so she's pretty safe. So, I mean, I really like that play from Alliance. So, again, against the Keeper of Light, you just have to approach, like, around him and make it so that he can't illuminate you. You take too much damage. If you get hit by level 2 Illuminate, that's like 900 magic damage that you're dealing with.
Also, we see the build coming out from the Prophet. At least, it's the assumption of it. So, we've got an Orchid, sorry, coming up on the Nature's Prophet. He could still convert it into like a Ring of Basilius, but...
It's really good for Shadow Demon. And like the Storm can also just go for an early Bloodstone instead. And then he goes in on someone, you Orchid the SD, and people are going to die. And I think the Gyro Axe is going to be a fairly big liability. He actually went Flat Cannon instead of homing missile.
Oh, really?
So,
well, then again, not many players have been going for this homing missile build.
Yeah,
especially watching China. Like there was nothing in homing missile, even to like level 12, 13.
Well, maybe they don't think it's that great versus some of their heroes. Like Storm can zip into it and hit it while invulnerable. Slaughter has a sprint, so by the time he gets hit, he's not going to be in a difficult position to counter.
Okay, not wanting to take this fight. I think the sprint just went on to cooldown for Loader. So, yeah, still on cooldown for the moment.
Well, his farm is much better than last game. He's 2-0, and their lineup's just much better suited for having a Slaughter thrive because they're just not relying on his Blink Dagger. And when you're not relying on that, the other team has other things to worry about, like defending their safe lane and getting farm on, I don't know, anyone that's not Bloodseeker.
I like how 4ASC were cleaning the tree line off just on the top river so they could see over into the jungle. To try and just get any kind of early notice if Alliance is trying to loop around them. Nice courier. Classic.
So it's nighttime now, 4ASC playing pretty similarly to last game. The problem is their heroes can't farm that fast. Like Bloodseeker is mediocre, TA is okay, but just doesn't have the...
Whoop, long jump down. Pycat going to go for Trixie. The Rocket Barrage is there with the Wrath of Nature. Prophet, the Sprout's going to be there. He's still in a loop. He had a tango to get himself out, but it took too long. Allowed Pycat to finish the job, especially when he had a haste rune to keep up.
Their reach is so much better this game, and again, Slaughter doesn't have to be involved in these fights for them to get kills. Last game, they were just so dependent on Loda and just too much pressure on him, and this game, I mean, they're playing so well. They knew that there were heroes sitting mid behind TA, and on top of that, she's already a difficult kill. If they just kill Trixie with the mobility, with the TP and the haste and the teleportation from Nature's Prophet, 4AC can't get there in time. So they have just much better mobility this game than last game, and playing way better.
Yeah. And with that, but you'd think they'd have a better advantage, but still, Amphi was considering having a crack at Mad. But I'm still looking at the highest CSs, and TA is leading the charge by a very long way.
But TA can't do that much later, right? If she gets amped up, she can't meld dodge anything. They'll have Treants to...
Oh, top lane, are they actually having something? No, sorry, take it back.
They have the Treants to knock off all the refraction. They have Sprout to keep her in place. And they have Storm to initiate on her. So it's not easy for a TA to shine in this situation.
So basically, she needs a Mana Star and a BKB to be effective in this game.
Or just HP or Bloodseeker to get really farmed so she can do some damage.
Well, just by space creation.
Yeah, just be there in front.
So do you then just try and go for the more like, the YOLO kind of style? Like you go for the Blink Dagger Desolator build over on the TA and just kill them before they kill you? Is that the better option here?
I think the safer option is always like phase drums. I mean, TA hasn't been that popular recently, but I just don't think she's going to have, I think she's going to have issues surviving.
Well, speaking of surviving, you've already lost the Bloodseeker. It was the Wrath of Nature kicking through the mid that let us know. And up on the top lane, Alliance find themselves more kills, 5-0 after 4AC had such a convincing start in game 1.
But I mean, the Nature's Prophet is just really scary to deal with. They like the 3-on-3 gank on bottom. Like you think it's gonna go okay, and then Nature's Prophet comes in. You think you're okay as a gyrocopter farming your safe lane, and then Nature's Prophet comes in, and yeah, you know it's coming, but you still can't play around it that well. Your heroes can't move around that quick.
Well, you can't even prepare. You can't prepare for it. Like, you can't have vision of him coming in because he can just TP in the middle of tree line and then take out the tree line and be there, or sprout from the tree, so you won't even see that coming. And welcome to your first use of Rupture.
Yeah, and the heroes can't really come out too far of the river, just because of the potential from a tower dive. On top of that, they have really good wards, like the ward to see if anyone's behind Matumba Man.
Well, she TP loader all the way back to base now. He did drop pretty low because he had to run out of that blood right. At the same time, 4AC now try and make the most out of that. But it's also giving space for Mad behind the tower.
But I mean, the way 4AC is playing, like, how are they getting kills? Gyrocopter tried to move around a little bit, that completely failed. He's died a couple times. Bloodseeker just used Rupture solo with absolutely no follow-up, and they're scrambling to put any sort of pressure on Alliance. And it's daytime; they need to put pressure.
Well, Pycat's going to be the first one to do it. He got the vision over on Boogie by throwing down that Remnant, and they want to jump over on Matumba Man. It's still daytime, so it's not the greatest time for Mad to be fighting. So Illumina forces them back with the Wrath of Nature, pick up by Arcade. She's stunning up the Temple Assassin, so we can't follow in straight away, and Arcade cannot TP out in time. But 5 heroes from 4AFC end up on this top lane. Alliance just going to let it go, and in fact, they're already pushing down bottom lane.
Yeah, they needed to make something happen, and at least put themselves up on the board and know Alliance, let Alliance know that, you know, they're willing to fight back and not just tank ganks and try and outfarm that way. That style of play just does not work anymore.
Oh, I suppose the Ruby Killer is fine, but still, you send a message and Alliance don't really care about the message. Like, you're farming up the middle lane over on a Slardar who's about to hit the Blink Dagger. So we're not sitting here forever waiting on that timing for the Blink Dagger Slardar. While Admiral Bulldog is having, at the time of his life on bottom, he's already halfway to finishing up the full Orchid, and he's already adding a lot of pressure to the tower. In fact, gets the last hit in the tower, which I'm fairly certain now makes him 2/3 of the way away from finishing up. But he just TP in the front, throws a Sprout to get the vision. He's got support coming in from Mad. He's actually coming in on the Keeper of the Light at the moment from behind. Actually having an Invis rune too. Scouts out Matumba Man. At least you'll see Varlix behind the trees. But there's no Wrath of Nature. There's no real help for Mad to get this kill. And he knows it. Like, you might be able to harass him.
Well, they know that they know that the Bloodseeker's not around anymore, so.
Yeah, they're TPing in the Slardar.
Oh, the nice blocks, Pycat.
He needs to slow him down a little bit further. But he knows it because Slardar ran straight past the creep wave. Yeah. So now in comes Matumba Man, slowing down Mad, and Varlix, he's so low. Like one TP in for Prophet. You see Bulldog, he's hunting for the kill. Mad's going to TP out, and Bulldog, he actually sprouts the wrong area. Same time Boogie's walking down, amplification on him, they'll disrupt him up. Boogie does not want to stick here. 2 attacks from Bulldog and he'll find the kill. And now he's realizing Varlix in the tree line, takes out one, doesn't turn around for Boogie, however, realizes he's dead. So I suppose makes the best of a bad situation, but potentially could have made that a twofer.
Or is Storm stealing a stack?
Oh. I think Storm's stealing the kill. He jumps in for the SD, and Matubman can't stop him. Pycat will TP out to safety.
I expected them to TP him earlier, because he has the reach that they need, and if he bypasses the creep wave, they react too lately. But with Slardar there, they were able to get in a pretty good position next to the T2. Nice dodges by the Keeper Light to not die early.
I think Arke was almost hoping that the TA would actually jump for him then. I say jump, just dive underneath the tower.
So Slardar's Blink Dagger so much better than the last game. About 10 minutes earlier with 12 minutes. See TA doing some stacks, but it's nighttime.
That it is, which means Mad gets to come online a little bit more, combining it with Slardar. But they're not finding the openings yet. Not yet. And you've still got this split push battle that can continue forever. Because Admiral Bulldog's already farming up, and the jump will come from Pycat. Sees Varlix, the Keeper of the Light's the easiest target, especially when Mad's that close. So you get the pick off, you keep the man advantage going your way, and you keep that split push up.
Yeah, I mean, just finally a way to jump on the Coddle without getting punished. So, well, TA's getting farm, but can she actually transition that into much?
She's going for the Death Slider. She's going for the all-out kills. But this is still heavily reliant on the rest of her team finding the openings.
Yeah.
And without a Blink Dagger, I think like initiation it still keeps coming back down to that.
And they have a lot of armor. Like Night Stalker and Storm are notoriously high armored heroes. Well, that's without darkness.
So how they even break him? Like, we gotta find a path to victory here, or else.
Well, they can do Aegis really quickly with it, Dezo, which is really nice. But nice scouting.
Yeah, right on the back of him, Mad. Meld Strike, TA Trap. He has to void him up. There is support around the corner, but that's Admiral Bulldog who's just body blocking with the treants of his. The Wrath of Nature is also kicking through, and his Gyrocopter's actually dropping down about half at the moment. But it's Loader on the top lane. Rupture in for the right, and he just TPs out. Disruption will cancel that, but at the same time, that means the right doesn't do his damage. The cross Matubman with that Blade Mail. Loader doesn't want a part of this, but he's already dead. The Bloodseeker will end up claiming the kill here.
They see Pycat.
They also see Trixie. Mad, Prophet's TPing him. There's no Wrath of Nature, but you get Earn Charge. They're trying to keep their distance here. Admiral Bulldog actually ended up attacking a creep before he moved over to attack the TPing out Gyro. It probably wouldn't have been enough anyway, but now the bailout TP's Mad only barely surviving that.
Alliance misfiring on a lot of ganks here. Slardar needs to be able to just go in and blink on people so that they can't TP out. And Night Stalker is... he has his nighttime out. They still have a decent window to get a couple of kills here and there. That also, that ward in the middle just prevents Coddle or anyone else from dying from that jump.
Still keep my eyes on that TA, man. That Desolator's almost done. And the Bloodseeker's already proven he can do a lot of damage. That's if Alliance want to stay within that Blood Right. But now Alliance actually going to group up. Is it a smoke move? It is. And they're coming into the Radiant jungle. Mad's the one on the front lines, but they find Matubman. That's the biggest kill they can possibly get right now next to the Templar Assassin, and they're going to look for two. So moving down to Boogie, allowing Matubman to be controlled up by Arke, and well, he'll go for the Blood Right, but Loader will survive it until Trixie comes with the Rocket Barrage. The Illuminate to help out, and the Templar Assassin taking out Admiral Bulldog. A big kill for him, especially if he can back it up with a kill on Admiral Bulldog. They keep running out here, the Blinding Light, the recalls, whatever they've got, they can push him back out of here as he goes into the tree line. And it's just a straight TP out. He's actually home and host.
Alliance, they didn't have the best coordination there. They really needed the Orchid on the SD before the disruption came out. Because of the disruption, the calldown came in, and he called down two heroes as well as a Rocket Roger and just instantly obliterated Loda. And that was also Bulldog got owned by the calldown because he TP'd in. So if they get the Orchid, they just kill both heroes in like 3 seconds. And by the time heroes TP, those two are already dead. So they really needed that to control the enemy jungle. It was also their last move until nighttime or until daytime hits. So not what Alliance was looking for at all.
They wanted more than this, but it's still a solid position for them. I'm still waiting for Roshan time. Come on, we're 16 minutes in with a slide with the amplification and a whole bunch of treants. I know the physical damage isn't that terrific.
Oh, they have to get rid of the trap first. So I mean, it's gonna be very delayed in how they want to take it. They have to go there, they have to sentry it, they have to, you know, push out the lanes, and then
do you even go against
time?
Do you actually go against it at all? Is it even worth trying? Is probably my question.
Not before one of the supports go there and sentries it.
Okay.
Like, they can't kill it that quickly, and like call down, rupture, all these spells.
Okay, having to stand his ground here. He knew he was dead.
Yeah, this TA is just massacring them too. What build is Bloodseeker going for after? Not sure. 1,000 gold post Blade Mail. I mean, Blade Mail is really good versus Slardar.
Looks like they're actually going to pop in for Roshan for ASC.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of TA's build, is just being able to slam Roche.
His armor's going to drop so quick. There is support though, Night Stalker's in the neighborhood, but they don't see into the pit until the Treant walks in. So now the vision is there for Alliance, and there's going to be a bigger wave of Treants coming in. The call down over on Mad. He's the most exposed one, but Roshan killed by the tire. Loader got in, he snatches it. He actually grabs the Aegis, the Immortal out front of their fingers, and you've lost your two major cores. The Crush will be off target, but the Orchid Trap with the Sprout, they'll do the work at Alliance. Now is the fight they wanted. Trixie will be pulled back in, and it is a team wipe for the prize of the Night Stalker, which 4ASC tried to initiate on while they were doing Roshan.
Such great presence of mind from Bulldog. He sends in one tree and then sends all of them in so they can't die. They can get vision of Roche so that Loda can blink in and make that play. And if he's not there, like if Pycat's there, it's just not the same. But they have such good ways to contest Roshan. If 4AC thought they could do it because it's daytime, maybe they can take a fight. But Alliance were more than prepared for that, and that is about as bad as it gets. Steal Roche kill, steal the Aegis, 5-man wipe.
Yeah. Man, daytime didn't affect anything there. Like Mad was a non-factor. Like he was bait. That's all he really was. Looks like, and even on the bottom lane, like he escaped because it was nighttime. Sure, that's his advantage. He actually triggered darkness, and that's why they didn't have the vision of him going into the tree line.
He's been doing a good job of just being out in front and forcing 4ASC to do something on him. You want him to get ruptured. You want him to get disrupted. You want him to for TA to use her burst on him.
But it's this weird thing when you run a hero like a Night Stalker as your fourth position, because most of the time as a team you're looking at him going, this is a core. Like, I know what this guy has done to me in the past, and this is what he should be able to do to me. I'm worried about this, so then you try and deal with him. But innately tanky hero takes a long time to do such a thing.
I think the thing with the support Night Stalker over the core is that core is just too predictable in how you want to play, because if you play the farm game you're generally going to lose out, but with a support you can just farm Scepter and still be useful. If you just have Scepter on a core Night Stalker, it's not that great because you don't do any damage, and he doesn't farm that quickly. You need to be able to get kills, and he's such a great tank and a frontliner, and just gets so much vision so Storm can zip in, so Bulldog can get a clutch Orchid off so they can spread out so they don't get blood righted or ruptured, and yeah, he is just exactly what Alliance needs.
Pycat looking to force the top tower, and for ASC, I think they're taking the bait, because they were meant to come and defend this and then jump in from behind. At the same time, they actually found Tumbleman out of position, so the Bloodseeker's going to go down. You get the rupture off on Loda, so Loda will join this fight quickly, but it doesn't matter. You've still got Pycat and Mad in the front lines. Now Admiral Bulldog is beating them down. He's also going for the Classico build. It's the old-fashioned Shadow Blade build over on Nature's Prophet. Ever since it's nerfed, not as a valuable item over on a Prophet, but now TPing the front lines, look for that Sprout. They can control up Trixie. They've already got the kill over on Varlix, and they just move from one to the next, diving into the tier 3 tower while the tier 2 is still alive on the top lane. This game really belongs to Alliance.
I wonder if the other teams in this group watching this series will consider just straight banning Nature's Prophet every single game because of this.
Well, and also because of like how polar different the games were, with game number 1 where Alliance were forced to fight so hard, and then you got positional advantage and lane advantage every time from Prophet.
Yeah, I don't like the Keeper to Light pick, first phase pick in game 1 and game 2. I think game 1 was fine. Game 2, I think they're going to be more prepared for it, as opposed to Alliance who, switch their opener up a lot and switch their mid roll with the Storm Spirit, and pretty much just one of the heroes is the same. Whereas, I mean, it's just devastating what Bulldog is inflicting on 4 Anchors plus Sea Captain.
There's that Silver Edge, the other thing that does make that Shadow Blade even more viable. Yeah, it makes Bloodseeker very, very sad.
How is TA supposed to man up in these fights? They banked on the Roshan so hard. When you get a Desolator, you really need Roche, because you're just going to die very often, and he hasn't made any item progression past that, and he gets amped up, and then what? He can't escape. All his refraction charges are going to get owned. He's going to get slowed from Slithering Crush as well as Void, and just no mobility in these fights.
That really was like the deciding moment with the cores at least. Because until that point, you did have Matubman as well as Valix up on the top. So it was the TA, sorry, and the Bloodseeker being number 1 and number 2. And it was still debatable who would be able to come up behind them. And then Pycat just gets this huge injection of gold as well as experience, and now he's sitting at number 1 on the net worth. And Admiral Bulldog's just lapping it all up on the side.
And on top of that, Load has BKB. So this is about the time that he had just a Blink Dagger last game. This game he has BKB on top. I mean, look at Storm's farm too. My goodness.
12 Bloodstone charges, and now looking towards his own Scythe of Vice, going directly for the disable. Because there's no BKB on the Templar Assassin, so hey, why not? She'll never do any damage. She actually bought a Blink Dagger instead. So I think 4SC also realized this too. They need to just basically pop an Alliance hero straight away. It's the only way that's going to work.
How can they? They don't have vision. Night Stalker with, 4 out of 8 minutes, he's going to own you with nighttime vision, and then you have darkness whenever you want it. So they need to be able to jump on them. But let's say he gets jumped by Slaughter, the Blink Dagger is useless. So that's...
Well, our power went on and off in here, but I think we're okay. Yep, we're back up again. But yeah, so yeah, you are right. Like he can't kill off anybody, and the fact that Storm Spirit also finished up a Shiva's Guard, so you got even more armor. We're not going for that Scythe of Ice style build.
It's really useful for ganks, but it's not useful for team fights. And
long jump up by the Storm Spirit, finding Boogie. He can't even get a Purge off for a disruption. There's a haste rune as well over on Pycat, hence he's searching for the secondary kill, if it's possible. Admiral Bulldog getting a bit of vision over on Trixie, into the corner, and Trixie coming back out again. Blink, Crush, they do have everything else to throw at him, but really, they don't need to throw everything at him. Maybe Mad? Nope, even that's going to be denied as he TPs away. So you get 2 quick kills.
Wow, now they have Shiva's vision. Shiva's has been a lot more popular on a Storm Seer recently because of the nerf in the last patch. And you just zip in with the Shivas and you just get full vision, and you can make the right plays as a result.
So do Alliance just push for victory now? Do they look at the tier 2 tower and just think about high ground?
Nah, they have way better control of the map. They can take it any way they want.
So just keep farming and wait for the next Roshan and then go?
Yeah, keep farming, look for good fights. They have better reach, and if Matt dies, it's not a big deal. And they have to be prepared for this, which is happening.
Yeah. So you lose your support, nice. So, okay, Admiral Bulldog, did he bring dust? It's like, okay, goes directly in from Matubman. The Orchid's over on Matubman too, so he can't really help out. The Blade Mail's making it so they can't instantly pick him up, but then the Shiva's Guard goes to work. There is a quick blood ride, but Admiral Bulldog stands his ground on Arcade. Okay, he may still psionic traps, but they pick up Nymphy, throw him back down again. Again, they are looking for some level of reveal. The Sprout, the Remnants, they'll take care of the rest. And in fact, he's going to one charge up the cooldown, arriving in from Trixie, battling up against Admiral Bulldog. And, well, he's in trouble until all of a sudden, Silver Edge. He'll survive for the moment. Pycat, Fade Bolt from RK, actually slowing down that damage, or at least reducing the damage into Pycat, sacrifices himself for it. And Pycat's got enough for one last jump if the attack does come in. Slaughter, well, he ends up killing off Keeper of the Light in the meantime on a different lane. And Pycat, his mana, he doesn't really have a hell of a lot. With the Shiva's Guard, he can slow down Trixie, and Arrow Bulldog's already back in the fight, and that's what it's all about. Silver Age to attack in, so it's already been broken on one. Trixie will end up going down, Pycat remaining alive, and they see Nymphy in the trees. Trigger off the dust this time around, he'll blink away, and they kept vision of him for just a moment. Now with the Remnant up, and the Sprout, and the traps, every bit of vision they've got thrown into the tree line. So TA will finally drop an Alliance, extending that lead now, 26-9.
The only reason that fight went like kind of bad for Alliance is because they didn't have a reveal the first time. Once they actually have revealed, the TA is just dead meat, and that's without the Slaughter in the fight for an amp. So, I mean, Alliance are just mega farmed at this point. I like the old school build from Bulldog. He switches it up very often, and he knows what's best for every scenario.
Yeah. Well, you said it before, like the Orchid was the perfect timing, and now he's just able to break both the Bloodseeker as well as the Templar Assassin. It's that Silver Edge. It's almost like the perfect item for the offlaner who's just trying to survive and push as well, if you do get forced into that position. Because then you've got survivability with the Suns, you've got a potential maim, and you've got the ability to go invis. So it makes up for the long cooldown time on it.
It's a good item pickup for sure. And the maim. Such a satisfying sound.
Just the sound, not the effect?
The effect is secondary to the sound. Come on, let's be real here.
Well, Dota is a very audible game. With all the wonderful character lines as well. There needs to be a new sound added in for Nature's Prophet every time he gets the maim with the Silver Edge.
Oh, Roche is up. They see it with a Treant and come to seed into it.
It's kind of funny too. Like,
JK.
Like it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny with this lineup for Alliance. I mean, sorry, for the side they're on. 4ASC willingly gave Alliance Dire Sight. Like at the start of this game, the pick was the 4ASC wanted Radiant, and Alliance get to have Dire. And they do this when you then have like the Slaughter game, and you got a Nature's Prophet. It's not that difficult for them to do it. I know 4ASC were still feeling like they could contest it, but it's just interesting that you give a side which is pretty well renowned for their Roshan plays, that you give them Dire 2 games in a row. And now you're going to lose one on top. Matomaman's down.
I mean, a lot of people prefer Radiant, though, especially for like the mid heroes that they played, the Shadow Fiend and the TA, because they have better access to neutrals. On top of that, TA, I think Radiant Ancients are much easier to do. So, I mean, I can understand their side preference.
Sigloader instantly regretted his decision to run in. And he triggers the BKB, which stops the homing missile from getting the stun. He's still going to get hit by that call down. And the Blink Dagger double crush for him on both the supports. You've already lost the Gyrocopter as well. And now it's all down to the last player of 4AFC. It's the Templar Assassin. And he's down for the count as well. 31-9. It just feels like every single fight's going the way of Alliance. They just don't have the creep wave in mid just yet to bring down this tower. But it's time to go for the tier 3 in mid.
Time to throw up the double Gs.
There's no buyback for the TA as well. There's only buyback for the Coddle as well as the Bloodseeker here, and that's not enough to defend. The Illuminate will slow him down, but it's not enough to stop Alliance.
I mean, they can't Illuminate. He'll get scouted out by Night Stalker and then just jump immediately.
And huge advantage. Huge advantage.
I think the impact from Bulldog is very evident in this game, and it was completely different from last game, where he went in, he got like a solo kill with his egg, but that was pretty much it for the early game, whereas this game he dominated top and bottom and pushed down all the towers. Last game they had huge issues pushing down towers.
So the disruption's keeping him alive for now, but the Sprout was holding him there. Pycat jumped in, but they're battling up against the Blade Mount to start with. And then ended up getting weighted out by the SD disruption of all things. So they pull out and then they go back in again. The first hit bash from Loader. He really has been having such a great time on this Slaughter. And Trixie, he'll be the next one. Keeper of the Light will buy back, but it's an absolute massacre here in the middle lane. Alliance is just tearing apart the mid-racks as well as the 4ASC lineup. You can have your buybacks, but Alliance, they can just retreat. They just took mid-racks and already Bulldog is going directly in for Roshan. He doesn't care if TA can watch every single move. Let her watch.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Interesting stats. Not, well, easy road for them.
And that's when they actually just choose their side, so it's not just the overall as well, that's when they get to choose. Interesting. Better for Radiant, but either way, Desolator now over an Admiral Bulldog. He wants to end this. You get your negative armor, he can actually solo push down lanes now. He'll just carve apart the buildings.
Radiant's bottom
And what else you got? The Assault Cuirass is done for Loader. You got a casual Void Stone flying in for Pycat. That's going for his Scythe of Vice, which is actually also completed. He'll have to spend his buyback money for it, but he can get it. And they're just looking so strong.
The Bloodseeker didn't really pan out for them at all. I thought it was going to be a lot better for them.
Yeah, same. When he did when he had the 2 heroes in bottom lane, you could see his damage potential. But it's like 4ASC never got a chance to use that potential. Like the combo wasn't there. You're drafting something which is great for teamfight, great for pickoffs, and you're never getting the chance because things like this happen. You get picked off, you're not the ones who are calling the shots, and Alliance don't care. They're just going right under tier 3 towers, and they know they can push the issue. Pyke's still got a damn against the Immortal, and 22 Bloodstone charges. It's an instant respawn, so he knows he can just turn, fight. Mad looked like he was TPing out as a bait, but now Matomaman, yep, they've lost everything, and I think that's actually the game right there, because you're going to lose your bottom racks, you're going to buy back by the Templar Assassin. You're not playing for any, like we don't have a time limit on any of these games for the international qualifiers. You know, for AFC, they're fighting to the end.
What is the tiebreaker scenario?
It's just you basically play best of 1, I believe. but it's only if you draw up. But with the way the group stage with the points works, it's actually quite difficult to get a tie. Which was the reason why it was designed this way, probably. But there's 2 sets of Raxes for Alliance.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I just don't like. There's just no more joy from me. Like, you get a Vladimir's offering now being able to be picked up from the Radiant Store from the Night Stalker if you can get close enough for it. He's just going to fly out the courier. All right. But Alliance just like they can't be stopped. Like, there really is no way they can be stopped here. Like for it, he got one last play, like one last thing. Bloodseeker's now spawned up. This is it. Like if it doesn't work now, it's never going to work. The Crush catching out 2, Trixie as well as Varlix. The Blood Riot actually a double because Rubik ended up stealing that one. And 3 heroes down. Alliance don't lose anything. But Toberman's on the run, but the Sprout keeps the vision up on him. They've lost 4. They're about to lose 5. Templar Assassin being dragged unwillingly away from her own base. And even the Storm Spirit's got himself a Desolator just because it's cheap stuff that does the damage. Good game, man. Good game.
Fantastic overall performance by Alliance. Pycat, 15 kills, 13 assists, 0 deaths, 29 charges, about as farmed as Storm Spirit can be at this stage of the game. And
this is so different to our first game. Like plus 40k advantage at the end of the match. It's as quick and as brutal. And can't GG because of time rating. There is no time rating, Trixie! That's the keep though. Oh man. Good game. Good game. Boys, thoughts?
Hi. How we doing, gentlemen? So, yeah, that game, a lot more tenacious from Alliance. But the one thing we have to remember to take away from all this is, leaving on that kind of note, it's not like Alliance just stomped through 4 anchors. With that point system, they both